Ever found yourself wondering how sugar and processed food can impact your health? It's a question that's been on the minds of many as the world continues to grapple with the growing health crisis. Our modern diets are saturated with sugar and processed foods, from the breakfast cereals we pour into our bowls each morning to the fast food we grab in the middle of a hectic day. Even foods that are marketed as healthy often hide a startling amount of sugar in their ingredient lists. It's become so prevalent in our daily lives, it's almost impossible to escape. But what does this mean for our health? The answer is sobering. Medical professionals and scientific studies have painted a stark picture of the potential consequences. We're not just talking about tooth decay or an expanding waistline, although those are certainly significant issues. The effects go much deeper. Obesity, a condition that affects more than 600 million people worldwide, is often linked to diets high in sugar and processed foods. But it doesn't stop there. Type 2 diabetes, a disease that can lead to a host of other health problems, has been on the rise. And it's no coincidence that this increase has paralleled the upswing in our sugar consumption. Heart disease, liver disease, certain types of cancer, the list goes on. Each of these serious health conditions has been linked to diets high in sugar and processed foods. It's a startling realization, and it's a truth that we can no longer afford to ignore. Yet, despite this grim picture, there is a glimmer of hope. We have the power to change our diets, to make healthier choices, and to turn the tide on this health crisis. It won't be easy, but it is possible. And the first step is understanding the science behind the effects of sugar and processed food on our bodies. So, are you ready to learn more? To uncover the sweet but deadly truth about our diets? Stay tuned as we delve into the science behind the effects of sugar and processed food on our bodies. Scene script. Sugar, it's not just sweet, it's complex. But what happens when it enters our body? Let's dive into the fascinating world of sugar metabolism. When we consume sugar, it starts breaking down in the mouth, thanks to enzymes in our saliva. From there, it travels to the stomach and then the small intestine, where it splits into glucose and fructose, its two main components. Glucose is the star player here. It's our body's preferred source of energy, powering everything from our brain functions to our muscles. Now, to move glucose from our bloodstream into our cells, we need insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks our cells, letting glucose in. But what about fructose? Unlike glucose, fructose primarily gets processed in the liver. Excessive amounts of fructose can overload the liver, leading it to convert this sugar into fat, which is not quite ideal for our health. Now let's imagine we're indulging a little too often, consuming more sugar than our bodies need for energy. What happens then? Well, our bodies, being the efficient machines they are, store the excess glucose as glycogen in our liver and muscles. But here's the catch, there's a limit to how much glycogen we can store. Once we hit that limit, the leftover glucose gets stored as fat. Over time, if we constantly flood our system with sugar, our cells may become less responsive to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance. This means more glucose stays in our bloodstream, leading to higher blood sugar levels. And we know that's not good news. It can set the stage for type 2 diabetes and other health problems. So, while sugar might taste delightful, it's worth remembering that it's essentially a double-edged sword. Sure, we need some for energy, but too much can lead to a cascade of health issues. So, we see sugar isn't just a sweet treat, but a complex substance that can have significant effects on our bodies. Moving on from sugar, let's discuss another common component of our diets, processed foods. Now, what exactly constitutes a processed food? It's quite simple, really. Any food that's been altered from its natural state for safety reasons or convenience is considered processed. This could be anything from canned vegetables to your favorite bag of chips. Now, here's where it gets a bit tricky. Processed foods often contain high levels of sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. These are added during preparation to enhance flavor, prolong shelf life, and maintain the food's appearance. But while these additives might make your food taste better and last longer, they're not doing your health any favors. Picture this. Every time you reach for that bag of chips or that pre-packaged meal, you're loading your body with these harmful ingredients. High sugar content, for instance, can lead to an array of health problems, including obesity and heart disease, which we've already discussed. But what about salt? Consuming too much salt can increase your blood pressure, putting you at risk for heart disease and stroke. And those unhealthy fats? They're the culprits behind high cholesterol levels and can contribute to heart disease as well. Then there's the issue of portion control. Many processed foods are designed to be overeaten. With larger portions and enticing packaging, it's easy to consume more than a healthy serving size, leading to overeating and weight gain. But perhaps the most insidious part of processed foods is their ubiquity. They're everywhere, from the convenience store on the corner to the vending machine in your office. They're quick, they're easy, and they're tempting. But it's important to remember that convenience comes with a cost. So next time you're grocery shopping, take a moment to read the labels. Check the sugar, salt, and fat content. Look for whole foods, fresh fruits, and vegetables. They might require a bit more prep time, but your health is worth it. Processed foods, while convenient, may be a ticking health time bomb. So we've talked about sugar and processed foods, but what does all this mean for our health? Well, let's delve into this. Consuming too much sugar and processed foods can lead to a host of health issues. One of the most common is obesity. Now, obesity isn't just about appearances. It's a serious health concern that can lead to various complications. It increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and certain types of cancer. In fact, it's been estimated that obesity-related conditions account for nearly 1 in 5 deaths in the United States. Let's talk about diabetes. Consuming lots of sugar can lead to type 2 diabetes, a condition where the body can't effectively use insulin to regulate blood sugar levels. This can result in a whole range of problems, from fatigue and blurred vision to more serious complications like kidney disease and nerve damage. Now, on to heart disease. Consuming too much sugar can lead to weight gain, and being overweight increases the risk of heart disease. But that's not all. High levels of sugar in the diet can also lead to increased blood pressure and higher levels of unhealthy fats in the blood. Both of these are major risk factors for heart disease. And lastly, let's touch on cancer. While the link between sugar and cancer is complex and still being studied, some research suggests that high sugar diets can increase the risk of certain types of cancer. This may be due, in part, to the inflammation and insulin resistance that a high sugar diet can cause. So it's clear that the sweet allure of sugar and processed foods can have a sour impact on our health. But the good news is that it's never too late to make healthier choices. By reducing our intake of sugar and processed foods, we can decrease our risk of these health issues and lead longer, healthier lives. Clearly, our diet choices can have serious long-term effects on our health. But remember, it's about balance, not deprivation. So let's continue this journey to better health together. It might seem daunting, but there are ways to break free from the sugar and processed food cycle. First step is awareness. We need to become conscious of what we're putting into our bodies. Starts with reading food labels. A lot of processed foods hide sugar under different names like high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, or even organic cane juice. So, being aware and recognizing these different names for sugar is crucial in cutting down its intake. We can focus on choosing whole foods. Whole foods are foods that are closer to their natural state. They are not processed or refined, and they don't have added sugars or artificial ingredients. About fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and whole grains. Foods not only provide us with the essential nutrients we need, but also keep us feeling full and satisfied, which can help curb those sugar cravings. Another effective way to reduce the consumption of sugar and processed foods is by cooking at home. When we prepare our meals, we have total control over what goes into them. We can choose fresh and wholesome ingredients and avoid adding unnecessary sugars. Plus, cooking can be a lot of fun and a great way to experiment with flavors and ingredients. Finally, let's not forget the importance of a balanced diet. Eating a variety of foods ensures that our bodies get a wide range of nutrients. Includes not only the macronutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, but also the micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. A balanced diet helps to maintain our overall health and well-being and reduces the risk of chronic diseases. It doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing approach. Gradual changes can make a big difference over time. By reducing the amount of sugar in your morning coffee or choosing a piece of fruit over a candy bar for a snack, little step counts. Some conscious effort, it's possible to make healthier choices and reduce our intake of sugar and processed foods. So, what's the final takeaway from all this? We've journeyed together through the sweet but deadly truth about sugar and processed foods. We've delved into the science of sugar, unmasking its hidden dangers and understanding its profound impact on our health. We've also explored ways to break the cycle of sugar dependency. The essence of what we've learned is this: sugar and processed foods, while tempting and convenient, can lead to serious health issues if consumed in excess. These include obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. On the flip side, adopting a balanced diet rich in whole foods can improve our overall health and well-being. we have the power to make informed decisions about what we put into our bodies. Understanding the impact of our diet on our health is not just important, it's essential. Remember, what we eat is more than just fuel for our bodies, it's a choice that can significantly impact our health and well-being.